Hey there! Thanks for joining us. Be sure to watch this entire video as we guarantee it will be worth your time.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joni Liu, founder of Extraordinary Sports Medicine, Concussion Answers, and Get Unstuck. I'm really happy to be mentored by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher at the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and today I'm a PGI certified consultant. Perhaps you've heard of the movie, The Secret. Bob was prominently featured in that film, and today he and I are helping individuals, entrepreneurs, teams, and businesses to master their minds and create abundant growth and success in their professional and personal lives. So let me start by asking you a question. What car do you drive? Let me ask you another question. What does your pet look like? Here's my pet. Her name is Kitty. So what came up with you? Pictures came up in your mind of your car and your cat, right? Well, now let me ask you another question. What about the mind? What do you think the mind looks like? What's coming up for you? For many people, it's the brain that comes up in their mind. Most people have seen a picture of the brain. Sometimes, as in my case, all I saw was a blank. If you thought of the mind as the brain, then I have to let you know that the mind is not the brain. The brain is part of the body. The mind is an activity, so the brain is not the mind. The mind exists in every cell of your body. Not knowing what the mind looks like has caused a lot of confusion. In order to overcome the confusion what the mind looks like, in 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet, a chiropractor living in San Antonio, Texas, developed a picture of the mind. He knew that there was something missing in the healing arts. Too many doctors, even today, are merely treating symptoms, not the true cause of the problems. Dr. Fleet knew that we have to deal with the entire person, so that means body, mind, and spirit. That means we have to help somebody deal with the negative thinking that they're experiencing. So what he did was he drew two pictures, a large one on top and a small one on the bottom. The large one is the mind, the small one is the body. The mind is much larger than the body because the mind is the reason why we do anything and everything. The body is an instrument of the mind, or as I like to say, the body follows the mind. Up to now, you've pretty much focused most of your attention on the body. Remember that we need to focus on the true cause of things. Everything in our life is an expression of our mind. Our body carries out what we think about. So our mind is made up of several levels, but for our intent and purpose, we're just going to concentrate on two, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind at the top is the thinking mind where information is gathered. Free will and awareness are here. The conscious mind develops after a few years when you were a child. The conscious mind does both deductive and inductive reasoning here. Inductive reasoning looks for a trend or a pattern and then generalizes. You don't know the trend will continue, so it may not stay true. Deductive reasoning takes a set of facts and uses that to create another set of facts. With deductive thinking, you're using facts to create more facts, so you're going to know that it's true. We can choose our thoughts in the conscious mind because the conscious mind can accept or reject any idea, so pay attention to that. This means that you have 100% control over your thoughts. Your subconscious mind at the bottom is the feeling and emotional mind. We've had it before we were born. This is where we store our memories, habits, conditioned beliefs, and self-image. The subconscious mind only does deductive reasoning. This should make you think. The subconscious mind can only accept whatever ideas are around it unless the conscious mind is paying attention, which, as you recall, can either accept or reject. When we originate thoughts in our conscious mind and impress them upon our subconscious mind, by becoming emotionally involved with those thoughts, this causes feelings, which then cause actions that create the results that we get in our lives. Do you see why it's so important to choose your thoughts? Do you see why it's important to examine your belief system and to only focus on the thoughts that are serving you? your goals, and your higher purpose? That's why the Thinking into Results program that I facilitate is so important. It opens up your world to endless possibility. A very critical change we have to make is to stop the continual programming through our senses. We have 5 senses. You see them here: touch, taste, see, smell, and hear. And we've literally programmed to pay attention to them. This is living from the outside in because we let these senses dominate us. Take, for instance, the news. Whether we're listening to the news, watching the news, or reading it, we are allowing someone else to control our thoughts and feelings. And the news most of the time is about bad, negative things happening out in the world, which often upset us. So we're relying on our senses. We get emotionally involved and we end up hardwiring our subconscious more and more with the bad stuff. We react to the things that happen to us. Another example of this is if someone compliments us, we feel great. If they criticize us, we feel bad. This definitely influences our minds, and it's inconsistent. We get torn here and there. We become victims of life. There's confusion, self-doubt, mistrust, procrastination, second-guessing, and paralysis. But there is a better way, and the Thinking into Results program that I facilitate definitely helps people like you to stop sabotaging yourself. Instead, we should be using the 6 mental faculties that we each have, which aren't developed nearly as well as they could be. They include perception, will, imagination, reason, intuition, and memory. This is about living from the inside out because we're taking control of our world through our mind, what we think, how we feel, taking right and inspired action, and getting the results that we really, really want finally. These are God-given gifts that we're meant to use. Unfortunately, we're not taught to use these at school, and they should be. Doesn't it make sense to cultivate what's really important to your success? I'm reading a biography about Albert Einstein, and I'm fascinated by the fact that he helped prove once and for all that molecules and atoms exist. This happened very early in the 20th century. I was amazed to find out how he spent a lot of time using his imagination and reasoning deeply to come up with what became true. Einstein showed that his conclusions had been deduced, remember what we said about deductive thinking, theoretically rather than induced entirely from experimental data. In other words, his imagination led him to the correct conclusion that atoms and molecules exist. Amazing. Einstein was one of the greatest thinkers in science, but he used all of his mental faculties to be that person. He did not rely on his senses to give him proof. For us, then, it's important that we don't gather information from the lower side of our senses. We need to develop and use the higher side of our personality, the 6 mental muscles. In order to be successful, you must have unwavering certainty that you can achieve your goals. You were designed to create and live the life you love. That's why I'm so happy to work with groups and individuals every day, teaching them how to use the same resources and intellectual faculties to achieve and live the results they want. Because we are thinking into results all the time. So I invite you to take your next success steps today. Fill out the application in the link below and set up a meeting with me. Let's take you not just to the next level, but to where you really want to go. Make a quantum leap. It takes just as much energy to achieve a little goal as a big one, so you might as well go for the big goal. No holds barred. Fill up the application and set up your appointment, and let's get started on your big dream. Thank you so much.